प्रभु जी माता जी जंगली प्रणाम। जय श्री प्रभु। You all see me?
Yes, Guruji.
Okay. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य च पति तानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरातिशे नमो। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we will finish the 8th chapter, probably start the 9th one also. The first one we discussed was Sadhu Ninda. Now this is the second offense. We are discussing the 10 offense to the holy name. We discussed so many Seva Aparadhas, and now we are discussing the Nam Aparadh. Seva Aparadh can be overcome by um, the holy name, but if you offend the holy name, then it becomes very very difficult. So we want to be very very careful not to commit these 10 offenses. If seva aparadh happens, fine. I mean, we try to follow as much as we can. But holy name, we need to be like so many times more careful not to offend the holy name. Devantare swatantra aparadh. देवंतरे स्वतंत्र अपराध मीन्स देवता स्वतंत्र है, वो अपराध। देवता स्वतंत्र नहीं है, दे आर नॉट इंडिपेंडेंट। ऑल द देवता, दे आर, एवरी देवता इज डिपेंडेंट अपॉन श्री कृष्ण। To consider names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent, स्वतंत्र, independent of the name of Lord Vishnu। मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि दो भगवान है या कई भगवान है, एक ही भगवान है। एकला ईश्वरा कृष्ण आर सब भृत्या, बाकी सब सर्वेंट है। एवरीबडी इज अ सर्वेंट। एकला ईश्वरा कृष्ण। If someone thinks that he can chant Kali Kali or Durga Durga and it is the same as Hare Krishna, that is the greatest offense. So that was now, we will go. These are very clear, so we are not spending much time there. Then Guru Avagya. Guru Avagya means to disobey the order of spiritual master. Spiritual masters are of two kinds. The Shiksha Guru gives initiation into the mantra, chanting of the mantra. Diksha Guru gives initiation into chanting of the mantra, and Siksha Guru gives instruction about the relationship between the Supreme Lord and the individual souls, and about other spiritual topics also. One may accept only one Diksha Guru, however, one may accept many Siksha Gurus. Both kind of Guru should be honored equally. So, Guru Avagya basically means um, uh, we don't disobey the orders of spiritual master, and the reason is um, when we obey the instruction of spiritual master is pleased, and when we disobey, then spiritual master is displeased. And my experience is even if we disobey devotees, like um, um, anyways, displeasing anybody, but especially it is mentioned about the spiritual master. Mm. Because when, like Srila Prabhupada, at one place he says, if the Guru is displeased, it creates havoc in our spiritual life. And when Guru is pleased, then our spiritual life becomes very, very smooth. Um, okay. Mm, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, there is a message. Chanting Radhe Radhe to be same as or alternative to chanting Hare Krishna is also an offense. Hmm. Chanting Radhe Radhe. We can chant Radhe Radhe. One thing it is mentioned, like the question is chanting Radhe Radhe same as chanting Hare Krishna? Or is chanting Radhe Radhe different from chanting Hare Krishna? So, a couple of thoughts on this question. One is um, Radharani is the most confidential part of the Vedas. And it is said, from what I have heard from um, uh, my spiritual master, is her name is hidden. And usually the name of the consort of Lord Krishna, because she is so confidential, so secret, that instead of chanting her name loud, we chant her name in a subtle form. And that's why Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Radharani is referred by the name Hare. And some people later on have changed the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra as Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna. But that's more like it's very gross to me. I mean, it seems like, I mean, of course, first thing is it is not Shastric. But second, it is too open. Rather, Hare is like, woman is like sheltered, we may say, or hidden portion or confidential portion, and their name is not taken out loud. And that's why we say, and she's like very confidential aspect of Lord Krishna. So we refer to her in that way, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Seems very smooth. Um, um, Second thing is, when what I've heard is what pleases Srimati Radharani the most is when we chant the name of Krishna, because Krishna is most dear to her. And yeah, anybody who, yeah, what pleases Shri Krishna most is when we chant of Srimati Radharani's name in the form of Hare. What pleases Srimati Radharani most is when we chant Krishna's name and worship Krishna because of their divine love among each other. And that's why we chant Radha and Krishna together. There is one spiritual master, his name is Prithu Prabhu. He was speaking about advanced devotional service, Raganuga Bhakti. And he was mentioning we don't worship only Radha Rani and we don't worship only Krishna. Rather, we worship Radha and Krishna together. And that's what Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Um, um, yeah, we never saw Srila Prabhupada chanting Radhe Radhe. We never saw that. In fact, Malati Prabhu, our previous GBC, she was mentioning that we should chant the name of Radha Rani only on the day of Radha Ashtami. Otherwise, simply Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's what we have learned from Rupa Goswami, from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not chant Radhe Radhe. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Rupa Goswami, Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. All the Goswami, Jiva Goswami, that's what they taught. That's what the Lord brought. That's what scripture says. So everything refers to the same. Now there is a tradition, I understand. Um, but our parampara, our line, predecessors, and the Lord Himself focused on Hare Krishna. I hope that answers. Okay. Mm. Uh, is it an offense though? Um, is it an offense? Chant Radharani is saying, no, it's not an offense for sure. It's just she's confidential. It's not an offense. Like when we are in front of her and we can pray to her, we are praying for your mercy, Shrimati Radharani. Shrimati Radharani name is taken with utmost respect, um, um, and should be seen as, um, um, yeah, like, um, anyways, with utmost respect that I'm begging for your mercy. Um, Please give me devotion so I can eternally serve both of you. So, in that respect, in a devotional mood, she should be approached. Okay. Now the next is um, Shruti Shastra Ninda. Shruti Shastra Ninda means um, 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 basically blaspheming the Vedic literature. Ninda karna. What does blasphemy means? The scripture is an exaggeration. It's a ninda. Oh, this is what it says. I don't believe this. This is, yeah, the holy name glories. I mean, I can speak here, but um, Shrimad Bhagavatam extols the glorification of the name of Narayan or any name of the Lord, Divine Lord, supremely like they glorify the name. Like many of the devotees also will feel like, I don't know if I can believe that much glorification is there of the holy name. So Ninda means I don't trust this much. I think it's an exaggeration like that. Uh, so the material senses can perceive only what is made of matter, what is not material. The material senses have no power to perceive. Lord Krishna is spiritual, he is beyond matter. Therefore, Lord Krishna kindly gives the scriptures in order that the conditioned souls will attain auspiciousness. The word amnaya here is used in the Vrindavan Sampradaya to mean the Vedas. Anyways, um, for example, we worship Tulsi now, and then when we water Tulsi, it is said by circumambulating Tulsi, and by watering her, the sin of killing a Brahmana is eradicated. So one may think how much faith I have in that just by watering right now, my sin of killing a Brahmana is also eradicated. Um, then another uh, um, verse says, by drinking Charanamrit, the disease will go away. And one time I was with one very wonderful senior devotee. Some of you may know Jagat Guru Prabhu, serves in Detroit Temple. And I was asking him, Prabhu, what are some of the things I can do to ensure my spiritual life um, unobstructed in a way or keeps on growing? And then he said many things. And one of the things he said is to drink Charnamrit every day. And he said, because when body is not proper, then um, um, how can we render devotional service peacefully? So if you drink Charnamrit every day, those obstacles will not come. Um, so even if your health will be good actually. Charnamrit removes everything. Um, Anyways, why I'm saying this is um, don't blaspheme the scriptures or have faith in every word of the scriptures, and with faith you follow. That's Shruti Shastra Ninda. Uh, This is more from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. In the 10 root teachings of the Vedas, the first teaching is the truth that the Vedas are the only true source of knowledge. The other root teachings are the 9 teachings also mentioned here. Those 9 teachings are as follows. The first of the Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there are 10 teachings of the Vedas, and the first teaching of Vedas is that Vedas is the only true source of knowledge. सच्चाई वहीं पे है बस. Then other 9 teachings are Lord Krishna is the only supreme truth. His form is dark and handsome, and he is the master of all potencies. His dark and handsome form is filled with the sweetest nectar. The numberless individual souls are spiritual atomic particles. They are separated parts and parcels of Lord Krishna, Vibhinamsa. Um, the individual souls who have turned their faces from Lord Krishna are imprisoned by Maya. The pure devotees are liberated, free from Maya's prison. The individual spirit souls and the inert word of matter, manifested by the Lord's inconceivable potencies, are eternally one and different from the Lord. Um, because both are the Lord's energies. Um, there's Achintya. Na? Achintya means we are God and we are not God. We are um, we part and parcel, qualitatively one and quantitatively different. So we are eternally one and different from the Lord. Maya is also it's Lord's energy, but it is one with the Lord because Lord's energy, but it has different function. So it is different from the Lord also. So in that way, eternally one and different from the Lord. Abhideya means the 9 kind of activities in devotional service to Lord Krishna. Abhideya means the process by which we can attain Him. When we turn away from Krishna, we become captured by the illusory energy, and we can turn again back to Krishna by this 9 Navavedi Bhakti, Shavanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and remaining. Pure love for Krishna is the true need, the true goal of life for the individual spirit souls. And the goal is to attain pure love of Krishna. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, like Shruti Shastra Ninda, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if one accepts these 10 Mool Tattva teachings, then one is not blaspheming the scriptures because this is the essence of what the scripture says. Criticize these teachings of the scriptures is an offense. Jaimini Pseudo Kapila because there is Lord Kapila who is actually the incarnation of Narayan who comes in Bhagavatam. Perfect. But there is another human who came by the name Kapila and who spoke Sankhya also, but it is atheistic Sankhya he spoke. So he is referred by Pseudo Kapila. Jaimini, Nagana, Nashtika, Sugata, and Gautama are the 6 famous speculative thinkers that opposes the Vedas. Even uh, uh, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, they are also mentioned as they and all these. They are all mentioned as um, some of their teachings are against the Vedas. They are 6 famous speculative thinkers. So they are described as speculative thinkers means their knowledge is speculation, but they are very famous, and their teachings are opposed to the Vedas. Um, so don't read them basically. By following these speculative philosophies, one comes to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures because when we read the speculators, because their teachings is against the Vedas, and when we accept them, we also offend the holy name, the Shastra, and then it becomes bhakti for those who are followers of these because of their offense to accept their teachings. Naturally, they become offensive, and for them to take a bhakti is very, very hard actually. The Mayavadis accept the wicked, very wicked philosophy, a philosophy that opposes the Vedas. Mayavadi also is like Shruti Shastra Ninda. They blaspheme the scriptures actually. Adi Shankaracharya also said, I don't believe in Bhagavatam. I don't believe in this. Only Bhagavad Gita. And he gave a opposite meaning to Bhagavad Gita, like impersonalistic. And because Bhagavatam is so clear and so direct, he rejected Bhagavatam again Shruti Shastra Ninda. Even Buddha rejected scriptures again Shruti Shastra Ninda. Uh, that's why there is one story of Lord Chaitanya. Um, um, Lord Chaitanya was in Varanasi, and one Brahmana would come and meet with Lord Chaitanya. Um, um, and he was very much um, kind of impressed, yeah, moved by the devotion of Lord Chaitanya, or purified by the association of Lord Chaitanya, very favorable to the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So he was very like, he received full mercy of Lord Chaitanya basically. So then, because he was in Varanasi and Varanasi was full of Mayavadis, so he also went and met the Prakash and the Saraswati because he was in touch with them since before. But now he was completely transformed by the Mahaprabhu's mercy. So this Brahmana went and told Prakash and the Saraswati that, did you heard about this sannyasi? His name is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the moment he took the name, his name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. The moment he took the name, um, Prakash and Saraswati started blaspheming. He spoke many, many words. Um, this Chaitanya, this Chaitanya, this Chaitanya. In that way, he blasphemed the Lord actually, Prakash and Saraswati. So later on, this Brahmana who got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, he became very sad to hear him speak against Mahaprabhu. So he went to Mahaprabhu and he shared his heart that this is what I heard and I feel so bad about it. Then this Brahmana, he asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that so many times he took the name Chaitanya, 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 and he spoke so many things, but even not even once he took the name Krishna. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, you see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he said, Mayavadi Krishna Aparadhi. They are Mayavadi, they are offenders of Sri Krishna. And because he is an offender of Sri Krishna, he spoke so many words, he took so many names. He said Shri Krishna, the name of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, he would only refer to him as Chaitanya Chaitanya. He not even once he took the name Krishna also. So Mahaprabhu said, because he is offended to Krishna, he cannot chant the name of Krishna. One cannot chant the name of Krishna if one offend Krishna. Um, yeah. So, anyways, Mayavadi is also Shruti Shastra Ninda, offend the scriptures. Then the Vedic scriptures give the way to become purified. This is where the scriptures do. It show us the guidance. The Vedas teach the pure transcendental worship of the holy name. The Tamasa Tantra, scriptures of darkness and ignorance, oppose the Vedas. So there are scriptures in mode of ignorance, scriptures in mode of passion, scriptures in mode of goodness, and then the transcendental scriptures are there. Some of the Puranas, like Shiv Puran, is there, and there are other Puranas also. I think six are in mode of darkness. Their teachings oppose that of the Vedas. So we should not read tamasa, tamasic scriptures. Offering flowers in Tulasi, I then regularly worship Srimad Bhagavatam and the Vedas with great care. And it is said we may have offended. That's why, yeah, um, um, many people are offenders to the scriptures because their philosophy is opposed to Shastra. That's why it becomes difficult for them to chant the holy name. And here the remedy, Haridas Thakur, Harinam Chintamani, the remedy is given as worship, worship the scriptures, offer tulasi to scriptures. We offer tulasi only to Krishna, um, because these scriptures are not different from Krishna. Like Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam is Sakshat Krishna. It is said Lord Krishna descend in this age of Kali in in the form of Bhagavatam and the holy name. So you offer tulasi to Bhagavatam and you offer flower to Bhagavatam. In that way, you worship Bhagavatam. That's how the offense of Shruti Shastra Ninda can be overcome. Then Nam Artha Vad Aparad. Arthavad.
Prabhuji,
हाँ, विनय प्रभु, धन्यवाद।
Prabhuji, if I listened to it. Um, Even why could Sankaracharya, who was so intelligent, he could make the error in judgment about these scriptures? So how do we know who is right when every scripture says I am right? How do we differentiate that?
Every scripture says the same thing, bro. Bona fide scriptures. Unless it is speculative scripture, then they differ. Or scripture in tamasic scripture, they differ. But um, otherwise, all the scriptures point out to the same thing. And the 10 cream teachings of all the scriptures is what we read. Dasa Moola Tattva. Same thing. Adi Shankaracharya, very intelligent, and he knew he purposefully gave a wrong interpretation. Uh, because he was very intelligent, he could convince in the wrong interpretation to his followers. Because that was the instruction by Lord Krishna to him. But others are just speculative philosophers. There are so many speculative philosophers around.
So Prabhuji, just last question. Like we don't have enough intelligence to even read one Veda or one page of it. So there are so many scriptures. Um, Without, is it required to read all of them and then make our judgment, or just trust what we are being told? Just like Prabhupada said, so I believe him. Somebody like say, okay, Sankaracharya said, so I believe him. So how should we make form our belief that who is right?
Shastra. So we see, Prabhu, why we have developed absolute faith in Prabhupada? We didn't develop day one. Na. We developed it because we read Bhagavad Gita, and then we can see the Sanskrit also. And then we may, in the beginning, I'll tell my journey. In the beginning, when I was the Prabhupada purport, then I would think like, oh, this is not in the translation. This is not in Sanskrit. Prabhupada's writing in the purport. So always we start with like, we are like, um, don't have absolute faith in the beginning now. And then as I read Bhagavatam, as I read Chaitanya Charitamrita, and then as we kept reading more and more, we saw that every word that Srila Prabhupada says is a Shastra. Everything is a verse. And how Prabhupada did not add a single word. Everything is as it is. And then when we go back to Bhagavad Gita and then we read the purport, although it is not in the translation, we can immediately remember, yeah, this is in those teachings by Queen Kunti, and this is what is from Ratrasura, and this is what from there. Then we can see that everything is a Shastra. And then when everything is like we develop faith, and we come to the point of we have developed absolute faith. But if you see, the basis was still the scriptures now. But because we develop absolute faith, that's why Prabhupada doesn't speak anything other than scriptures. And that's why anything he says we can believe. Why? Because our past experience of decades is like perfect. Makes sense?
Yes, Prabhuji, like I've just experienced only this piece, so I may be biased in my decision, right? That people may say, okay, you have not seen this, so you just
Yeah. But then how we say in the beginning now, Prabhu, especially new people, um, we show them where Lord Krishna said that, where in Bhagavatam it is there, where. We show them the scriptures directly so that they can have faith on the scriptures. And slowly, naturally, anybody who is sincere will develop faith in Prabhupada naturally. But we always keep the scriptures as the basis. But among devotee circle, it's different because they have that faith. New people don't have that faith.
yes,
So,
Prabhuji. Like for me, I don't even need to read Vedas
um,
and all those things to have faith. But if somebody is questioning, then I don't like I don't have that kind of capacity to read all the Vedas and cross compare and tell that okay, here it is written like this, here it is written like this. Only
see,
Prabhupada could do that.
Prabhu, everything is written, whatever is in the Vedas, everything is written in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Actually, Vedas, it is mentioned, there are three sections of the Vedas. There is Karma Kanda section, Jnana Kanda section, Upasana Kanda section. Um, Majority is Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda means you worship Indra and you get this and you do this. The whole Rig Veda is worship of Indra actually. And the whole Sam Veda, most of them is about music theory. Vedas have everything. So Upasana Kanda is the Bhakti section of Vedas. That is very, very small. And that is the essence. And Lord Krishna himself says if the Vedas are compared to the cow, then the milk, which is the essence of the cow, the milk is actually Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna himself says, don't be don't be attached to, don't even show interest in reading Vedas. Krishna himself says that. Why? Because Krishna says because um, um, the Vedas mainly deal with the three modes of material nature. See, worship of Indra is mode of passion actually, because we are worshipping for some desires. Some Devata worship many times it is goodness also, but nonetheless they are all dealing with the three modes. Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, Vedas mainly deal with the three modes of material nature. Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna. You go beyond the three modes. Um, Even and then, so Bhagavad Gita is like the essence. Everything is there in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. The Vedas summary is Vedanta, and Vedanta commentary is Bhagavatam. So when somebody asks question, we refer to them again and again to Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. We keep that as the basis. And if we accept what these two books are saying, by default, and if we understand Bhagavad Gita, by default, you can assume you know all the four Vedas, the Bhakti section of Vedas. You have the complete clarity if you understand these two books. Is that all right, Guruji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Then नाम अर्थ अर्थवाद अपराध. नाम अर्थवाद मतलब you give some um, uh, नाम अर्थवाद um, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Vad means you don't accept it. You don't accept it means you think it's an imagination or exaggeration, something like that. Um, like whatever one name Narayana could purify a Jamin from everything he did. This is not an exaggeration, basically. It is said Yamadutas, they were exhausted writing Ajamila's sinful activities. And same thing with Jagai and Madhai. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, it is said Yamadutas was so exhausted. Yamraj is like tired writing all this sense of Jagai and Madhai and calculating for like we don't know like almost till eternity Jagai and Madhai have to suffer. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave them the holy name, and then Yamraj saw and Yamduta saw that all the heaps and heaps of books are blank. And Yamaraj basically fainted, thinking, what kind of personality is this and what kind of the extent of the mercy of this personality is carrying. So he was like surprised. So the glories of the name, we our understanding may be material, or we may judge the name from our experience, or we just we can think anything and but the idea is if scripture says so, yes it is true, and I have faith in that. Then we don't consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Okay, then Naam bale paap buddhi. On the strength of bal is strength. On the strength of Naam, paap buddhi, we perform sinful activity. To commit sinful activity on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Actually, Narayan, Vishnu Duta says to Yama Dutas, if somebody kills a Brahmana, kills the wife of Brahmana, kills a cow, have illicit sex with the wife of one spiritual master, oh, they keep on going actually. Yamadutas keep on going. And they say, even if they have committed all these sins, They are completely purified if they chant Narayana. कल गौ हत्या किया है, परसों ब्राह्मण हत्या किया है, परसों ये किया है, और आज बोलो नारायणा और आप मुक्त हो गए. Very hard for somebody to believe. The glories of the name are like, वो क्या है ना, दिल खोल के लिखा है एक्चुअली, ग्लोरीज ऑफ द होली नेम शास्त्र में. तो कोई बोले कि यार ये तो छोटा मोटा ही गलती है, लाइक स्मॉल मिस्टेक, that's fine, I can do this and I will chant Hare Krishna tomorrow. If I have faith, Krishna can do this. Krishna name is so powerful. Then why do you have to worry? It will go away. Then it becomes an offense. Like, yeah, the glories are there, but you cannot misuse it. Otherwise, it becomes an offense. Then नाम is a प्रभु. नाम जब आप, एक होता है ना, we cannot exploit anybody. Like sometime in the temples, Prabhupada would see in the temples, you can come, you can stay, free food and comfortable, fine. And somebody uses the temple facility as exploitative mentality, not good. Prabhupada says no, they should go away. Only their sincere devotees coming for Mangal Arati, only they should stay. Everybody else should be removed from the temple. So in that way, we cannot exploit. So we cannot exploit Nam Prabhu. Nam Prabhu is very merciful. But if you take advantage of him, and anyways, Nam Prabhu is there, so I can do whatever I like, then Nam Prabhu feels bad. If he feels bad, then it will become very, very difficult to chant. So that's Nam Bale Pap Buddhi. It should not be taken that because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be free from all kinds of sinful reactions. One may continue to act sinfully, and after that chant Hare Krishna to neutralize his sin. Such a dangerous mentality is very offensive and should be avoided. Okay. Then the other is Shraddhahina Jane Namo Upadesh. Shraddhahina, those who don't have faith. Jane, such people, you give Upadesh on Nam. You give lecture on the glories of the holy name to a faithless person. Don't glorify the name to a faithless person. You can say them, chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Please, it will be very beneficial. But you cannot say if you chant, your killing of cow and Brahman and all these things will be. They cannot. They won't believe it, and they feel it's an exaggeration. And when we become an instrument for somebody else to blaspheme the scriptures, then no, the offense, we become an instrument, so offense comes to us. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Anyone can take part in chanting the holy name of the Lord, but in the beginning, one should not be instructed about the transcendental potency of the Lord. Those who are too sinful cannot appreciate the transcendental glories of the Lord, and therefore it is better not to instruct them in this matter. Don't tell them the glories, but you can tell them to chant. Best is not to glorify the name fully in public platform. That is very good actually. We can always tell them to chant and they will feel the peace, they will feel the divinity, but no need to tell them in full extent. Let them read Harinam Chintamani. Let them read Bhagavatam. Um, and when they are ready, Krishna will speak through them and they will understand by themselves. Okay. Then to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. This is the 10th offense. Not have complete faith in the holy name. To maintain material attachments. This is very difficult. Um, to give up material attachments is very difficult. And to maintain this is one reason. Um, Three offenses which I feel many devotees find it very hard. One is Sadhu Nanda, the first one. One is Guru Avagya, the third one, and one is this 10th one. These three are very hard for most of the devotees to follow because we are chanting, but we maintain material attachments. Already, offense is there to the holy name. We may speak something about a devotee, another offense to the holy name, or we can disobey devotees, another offense to the holy name. It's very hard to live, very hard. How can we chant Shuddha Nam? It's not that Shuddha Nam chanting means right now I am not committing any offense, so I'm chanting Shuddha Nam. No, in that in like in our life, if we don't do any of these things, gradually, and we are fully pure in the mind, that we have no bad thoughts about a Vaishnava. We have no attachment in our heart, no material desires remaining in our heart. We have no tendency, like we are completely surrendered. So unless our life is exhibiting all these platforms, we cannot chant Shuddha. It's not an instant chanting Shuddha. It's our consciousness has been transformed, and when that happens, one can chant Shuddha to maintain, and even after yeah, okay, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names. Yeah, this is the 10th offense. Okay, and the 11th offense it is mentioned is to be inattentive while chanting, and it is said all the 10 offenses they arise from inattention. Inattentive chanting give rise to, when the chanting is inattentive, we will blaspheme devotees. When the chanting is inattentive, we will not send, we will reserve. When the chanting is inattentive, our material desires will increase. When the more the naam aparad, the more the material desire. The more the name is focused, the more the mind is peaceful and will not desire anything and will be self-satisfied. So everything is in the name. And this picture shows that gradually, um, if we are striving to chant pure name, I'm not saying we are chanting pure name, it's a very advanced stage. If we are striving to chant pure name means this is namabhas. Namabhas means the stage of clearing the offenses. Clearing offenses means I'm consciously making effort, putting effort to not blaspheme devotees. I'm consciously saying no to material attachments and praying to Krishna to remove material attachments. Although it's there, I'm praying and I'm desiring that I don't want them and I want only Krishna. I'm consciously, even though surrender may not be there, I'm consciously trying to surrender to the will of the devotees, to how the Lord is making arrangements in my life. I'm surrendering to whatever happens and seeing the will of the Lord in that. And even though I don't have, and I'm consciously working to follow these. This is namabhas. When you do that, you will start getting a glimpse of the name, and that also has many layers. And that will take us beyond all this stages of envy, lust, ignorance, anger, greed, pride, slowly. Then after later stage comes faith in spiritual master, and then on a very advanced stage comes sense control, austerity, um, complete realization, and from there comes the divine couple. Um, and the root cause of all this is inattention while chanting. So namabhas means really trying hard to follow. Before namabhas, first is identification of my pitfalls. Now I identify, I'm working on it. And that stage takes a long time. Nam aparad means I'm chanting. Sometimes I'm inattentive. Sometimes I just give in to material desires and hanker for more material desires. Um, Sometimes I just don't want to surrender and I become angry and fine. Who cares? Ego comes and I just act on it. And sometimes I just speak about blasphemy of some devotee. That's like we are in an offensive stage. Then it's holiness is, yeah, not really accessible. No focus in the mind and trying to hear the name, and the name is not hearing, and chanting is a struggle. Um, okay, all right, any discussion? Otherwise we'll go to the ninth chapter.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, is chanting, I'm actually kind of confused about it. Like, is chanting more rounds better or chanting very carefully better so that there is no, less nam aparadh?
Chanting carefully more rounds is better.
Prabhuji, if you're like at that stage where you can either chant more or chant carefully, like my question is it
I am
better to do more rounds or is it better to chant nicely?
um
If you
um,
can do either one of them, not completely like both of them.
you can do both, Mataji. It's just like how I have been in my I'll be honest here, I'll be open and maybe vulnerable in my life circumstances. Is initially I would chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Every word distinct, clear, um, um, like the way it is described, and trying to be attentive. Then eventually I went into a phase where I wanted to chant more and more rounds. And then I went into this phase of, I mean, I was living in the temple. Some devotees told me that, Prabhu, your chanting is not clear or the words are not distinct. But then I didn't want to reduce my rounds because um, I must attain this number. And then after some time, then I became that I would spend the same number of time and maybe increase the time of chanting more. But I would not chant as many rounds as I was chanting at some point of time. But I want to chant clear, and I set a number that is sustainable for me with that, and I'm happy with that. So that's why I'm saying it's not that to chant uh, focus rounds. It's not. I'm not talking about myself here now. I'm saying in general. To chant focus rounds, only 16 is the maximum number we can go. But we want to chant more as much as we can, as much as our schedule allows, without compromising the quality. And this shift is very hard actually in my personal experience because, um, yeah. Did I answer though?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, anything else?
Prabhuji, what I have experienced, if I means for me, if the goal is not high, if I say 4 rounds, then I will be doing only 2 rounds with attention. Next to means the lesser the number of rounds, we reduce our attention span also same way.
Yeah, that's very good. And that's where the Prabhupada said, if we are finding it difficult to focus, chant more and more and more. So we want to chant more and more and more as much as we can, but we don't want to compromise our quality also. Compromising quality does not mean we cannot go fast. Jayapataka Maharaj says you can go as fast as you would like without eating the syllables. Another thing I've heard from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, Maharaj says it's not about chanting slow or chanting fast. Maharaj says if we chant too fast, we may skip the words and we may not be very attentive and we can go in a maybe um, we may find it hard to focus. But if we chant too slow, then the mind has lot of space to be distracted. So attentive chanting does not necessarily, I'm just telling us basic concept. Attentive chanting does not mean chanting slow or chanting fast. Mara says whatever speed helps you to focus. Some people find it very easy to focus when they take 10 minutes around. Some people find it very easy to focus when they take 5 minutes around. Both are glorious, but both should make sure that the mantra is complete. That's all I'm trying to say. And with that, with whatever speed you can focus, you chant. And there you keep on adding the rounds. You do more and more. Whenever, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Like my father sings, like if I will chant with him, I will not be able to complete even 1 round because He sings so he will be just lost in singing. So for him, he says, I don't, I just,
This works best for me, yeah. And also, my little 2 cents with my experience with number of rounds of chanting. My 2 cents is, it's not so important what the count of number of rounds is, but what is more important is how much time we are giving to our chanting. Some person may be chanting 16 rounds. Okay, I'll complete this last thing. Some people may be chanting 16 rounds and take 10 minutes a day. Those people are absorbed in hearing the name of the Lord 2 hours 40 minutes. Some people may be chanting 20 rounds and 5 minutes a round. They will complete 20 rounds in probably 1 hour 40 minutes. 1 hour 40 minutes. 5 minutes around means 1 hour 40 minutes. They will chant 20 rounds. Another person is taking 2 hour 40 minutes and chanting 16 rounds. So actually person who is 16 round 2 hour 40 minutes, he is hearing the name 2 hour 40 minutes. The other person is hearing the name only 1 hour 40 minutes of his time. So our number is not, but how much time we are giving to the holy name in our life. And it's, like, um, um, yeah.
uh, Keshav Maharaj says, count the counts till the count of the counts don't matter. It's like that was a beautiful line.
Yeah. So at the same time, it's important to have a goal which is higher than where we have to stretch ourselves. Um, because if we keep a very simple goal, um, like, okay, I'll share one more vulnerable example of my own life. So one time after chanting many rounds and I feel like my quality is not so good, I need to focus on my quality. I will chant 16 pakka rounds. I felt like that. And then I would get up early because I had this goal of finishing these many rounds. So I would extend myself and have a certain number of hours in the morning. And when I reduced my goal, and then I started getting up late because I know the goal is small and I can finish that goal. Now, no need to stretch myself that much as I was doing before. Then I thought, hey, this is another loop I am going into, which is not good. And then um, 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 basically, we want to maximize the time of our chanting and have a goal which is not easy in our own schedules, and which keeps us busy with the name more and more. And if you feel we have more time on a regular day, on a regular basis, then that's the sign that I can increase either my hearing and chanting. And we want to keep increasing our goal. That's like increasing our regulatory principles. And we want to be fixed with a number or fixed with our sadhana to such an extent that we have no space remaining. And we are always in anxiety of, oh, I have to do. And we are always pushing our boundaries beyond ourselves. And that's how we can stretch and be comfortable with the stretched zone. And then we stretch ourselves further and be comfortable with that, and further and be comfortable with that. And we want to keep going on and on and on like this. Anything else? 2 minutes. I don't think we should start a new chapter tomorrow. Okay. So I guess if you all allow, I will end here. And if I spoke anything wrong, please forgive me as a humble servant. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय. Thank you very much. Tanvat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.